secret mobs, balloons, and even a way to fly in survival mode. These are 28 secret things in Minecraft Education Edition. Let's first take a look at the craziest items in this version of the game, because these are ice bombs that will actually freeze any water that they come in contact with. Just use the super cool compound creator with these elements. This gives sodium acetate, which you just put 4 in a lab table to get the ice bomb. It will literally freeze any water. Number 2 is a real camera in game. If you place this down, you can actually snap a selfie. Luckily though, it doesn't go to some random folder in your files like Java does. You can actually just look at it in game using the portfolio item. Wait, what's that in the background? This is a barrier wall, and you might think the barrier blocks are strong, but in comparison to the wall, the blocks are super weak. If you place this down, it blocks off literally any access to the other side. No matter how high or low you go, there's no passing at all. This was meant for teachers to block off students griefing others, but quickly people found out ender pearls get right through it. And like I had said in the intro, this is a real blue torch. No mods, just Education Edition Minecraft. Use cerium and chlorine in the compound creator block. This will give you cerium chloride, and with that you put it above a torch in the crafting table and you get the custom colored torch. There's 3 other colors too that you can get with different compounds, but I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty awesome. Mojang, please add this to Java. Number 5 is this item. Bleach. Kind of funny they have a dangerous thing like bleach in the school version of Minecraft and not Java, but nonetheless, there's a super cool use for it later in the video when we get to the coolest mechanics in Minecraft Education. So stick around. We're all used to using Silk Touch to mine glass, but luckily you can get a type of glass with just your fist in Education Edition. This hardened glass is super cool looking and even more resistant to TNT blasts than normal glass. Somehow though, you can harvest it with your bare hands in survival mode. Sometimes we run out of space trying to write down messages on signs, but luckily Education Edition of Minecraft solves this problem. Using the chalkboard of various sizes, you can actually write a lot more text. I think this is probably for teachers to put math questions, but I will just be spreading my YouTube channel propaganda. For real though, subscribe. Number 8. In our times playing Minecraft, we've all gotten poisoned, whether from a witch or a friend that's getting revenge. But in Education Edition, there's a way to heal poison before it gets you to that painful half a heart. By brewing silver, the element block, in a brewing stand with an awkward potion, we can actually get the secret item called the antidote. Okay, it's not that dramatic, but it still is actually really cool. When poisoned, you just grab this from your inventory and you'll be good to go. Completely safe. Now, we've seen some of the craziest items so far, like dyed torches and the ice bomb. But somehow, there's still crazier items that Mojang added to this version of the game. Because I'm sure you've either played a Star Wars mod or wanted to. But in this version, there are lightsabers. The items you'll need are the following: hydrogen peroxide, any color dye in the middle, a luminol bottle, and 6 whatever the hell this says. This will craft the glow stick, which looks identical to a lightsaber, and players have even wondered if they could get copyrighted for it. But while it's still in the game, I will be wielding it, pretending I am Darth Vader. On a serious note though, for item 10, this is an overpowered version of bone meal. With the bone meal we're all familiar with, it takes about 4 hits to grow a tree, but this one only takes 1. It's called super fertilizer. Keeping with the more school-like theme I see, put 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogen into the compound creator, and this will give you ammonia. Then in the lab table, put the 1 ammonia and 1 phosphorus, and you'll actually get the super fertilizer. And yeah, look how efficient this stuff is. Learning science might actually be worthwhile now. Now, as far as I know, it doesn't have any uses, but there's actually soap in the game. Let me know if there is any secret crafting with it or anything, but yeah, cool nonetheless. TNT can't blow up underwater, unless you were to get some underwater TNT. Simply just get 1 sodium and put it above a TNT in a crafting table. You get this custom skin TNT that will actually explode under the water. Not sure why you're blowing up the ocean floor, but now you can, I guess. There's 2 more items I know will blow your mind, and then we have to get to this secret mechanics hidden away in the Education Edition of Minecraft. This is the sparkler, and yeah, like you might guess, it sparkles. Choose a chloride of choice for the top. This will determine the color. Put 4 magnesium and 4 sticks, and you get this super cool sparkler. It will even create a trail behind you, and you can put them in the offhand to have 2 colors at once. Super cool, I'm not gonna lie. Number 14, you can create a super cool DJ set with this build hack. Use the material reducer and surround it with trap doors. You get this super real looking DJ table. Teachers must not be too happy though when they've seen this built instead of the kid learning. Now, we've covered the most secret items, but what about the mechanics that these come with? Did you know that you can pop balloons? Oh yeah, forgot to mention that. There are balloons in this version. You can't pop them with your fist, but for some reason you can with a bow and a trident. It even has a cool custom animation for the pop. Pretty neat. Number 16, with more balloon facts. You can actually tie up mobs and they're gonna fly all the way to the sky. Chickens and other small mobs go the fastest because this version of the game aims to be super realistic to how physics actually work. So much so that iron golems and wardens will not fly up at all with balloons attached to them because they're just too heavy. This is me flying in survival mode. You can see the hotbar, it's completely real. Open up the chat and type the command /ability @p may fly true. And this enables flying even when in survival mode. Imagine your teacher tells you to craft some sciencey stuff and just sees you flying out of the world in survival. Education Edition Minecraft presents a new way to stop griefing forever. They knew kids using this would be an issue, so they added the allow and deny blocks. Any blocks that you don't want placed go on top of the allow blocks. Then when you go over to the deny blocks and try placing them, they just disappear into thin air, making sure you can't grief anything with TNT at all. These features like the balloons and flying in survival are really cool, but pop quiz! This is education after all. How can you melt snow layers? Well, they actually added a heat block to do just this. I'm not sure in what case this is useful, but it's kind of cool, I suppose. Melting away some snow layers with a block is definitely not in Java. Now, like I mentioned earlier, number 20 is a way to use bleach in the game. If you have colored wool, beds, or even banners, you can combine them with bleach to revert them to the default white variants. It does make sense. Bleaching out the colors is a super cool feature though. Number 20 is one of the coolest blocks and features. All video we've been talking about making things with the elements, but how do you get your hands on these? Well, one of the ways to do it is with the element constructor. You just move these dials up and down to choose how many protons, neutrons, and electrons you want the item to have. Then you just take your element out and can go make the super cool stuff. You can turn blocks into elements by using the material reducer. Blocks like stone will give you the elements to it, wood will show what it's made of, and even things like endstone will have elements that it's made of. We've seen uses for the lab table, but there's a secret item it'll give you if you don't know what you're doing. If you combine random stuff that doesn't make any sense, it'll literally give you garbage. Bro, imagine in class, your teacher walks by to check in on your work, and you get a garbage item pop up on screen. It's raps for your grade. Now that we've seen some crazy mechanics, we can't miss out on some of the coolest unique features Education Edition holds for its players. This is a villager like no other, because it actually isn't a villager. This is an NPC who you can change a bunch of stuff about, from the skin, name, and even messages it'll say. Oh, he spin! To get one, do /give @p spawn egg 1 _ 51, and you'll get this never seen before spawn egg. Although Minecraft has millions of players, new players join every day, and a cool feature in this version is that there's actually tutorials like most other games within the game. This is the Agent, a custom mob in the game that actually has maybe the coolest feature we've ever seen. This feature is the ability to program it yourself. It can mine for you, build for you, or whatever else you tell it to. This would be so sick to have in Java, but just imagine the speedrunners with one of these guys. It would be broken. Surprisingly, you cannot use the material reducer on some blocks, including the command block. I guess we're never gonna know what secrets are held within this block. Or you could go click my video that has that as the thumbnail. But another crazy fact at 28, the agents from 2 facts ago cannot be killed. They are immortal unless you use a command. /kill @c will eliminate the agent, but otherwise, he's here to stay. If you made it to the end of the video and enjoyed, I know you will love the video on screen. It has cooler facts than this one, but about Java Edition, which will be super useful for your own world. Subscribe, and I'll see you all later.